Hello and good morning. My name is Brian Josh Palmer, son of MERVIN Palmer. I'm from SMK AMBROSE, and today it's a honor for me to present to you my favorite book, The Awakening by K. Chopin. Let me tell you something. The reason why novelists driven to embark their authoring careers are various and many. Yet there seems to be a commonality that they love writing and there's an inner voice within them that demands to be heard. Well, for K. Chopin, this is no exception in her regard. She's a libertarian thinker. She's tormented in her convention of her own society and her own lack of contentment. She loves writing fictions and she uses it as a way, as a creative expression and a form of catastrophes. And into her intellect, she's all the way from the south of the United States of America, and she was born in the later 19th century. Although she's the daughter of the Irish immigrant, she was also learning at a very young age to fend for herself following the death of her husband, Oscar Chopin, when he left the family with a considerable financial debt to pay off. Soon later, her father too passed away, and this led to K. Chopin living in an environment where he did not depend on male role models. This was an unusual circumstance for K. Chopin to be in a society where men were accepted as the figureheads of their family. Well, K. Chopin looked to writing as an escapism of the pressures of life. Surprisingly, she found success by selling her short novels to various periodical publications. And naturally, she was encouraged to try her luck with novel. And that brings me to the point of what is the awakening? Essentially, the awakening was a feminist outpouring way before the concept of the feminism was indulged into the society's vocabulary. The title alludes to a woman named Edna. Edna was awakened from a life of marriage and motherhood, and she was so burdened by the fact of the society being expected on her that she decided to reject all of the roles for the sake of freedom and happiness. Well, she began to show an outsign of dysfunction and depression to such an extent where she was eventually abandoned by her husband, where he took her kids with them. And now, the prelude to this event sees Edna falling in love with a younger man. But he flees soon as he realizes that his affection for one another would soon lead to disaster. But then he reappeared in her life, and as he was ready to confess his true feelings for her, circumstances conspired made him leave the game for good. But then this made Edna realize that she had blown her chances of a new and a happier life. And upon her realization, sadly, she took her life by drowning herself in the ocean. Now, by hearing all that sad story, there has to be a question that circles around every reader's mind. What do we learn from this? Well, after I've read everything around this book and scavenged everything, I am honestly get to say that Edna and K. Chopin has nothing impossible for them to be the same. Why I say this? The reason is K. Chopin was not abandoned, but she was widowed. Therefore, she gets the feel of abandonment and ensuing loneliness. She too had encountered other men and flirted with them too. So she knows the sense of desire and lust that came with unrequited love. To me, Edna was a way of exaggeration of K. Chopin that served as an expression of her opinions on how society torments women through disapproval and also with their wants and needs. I believe that the reason why this book received a lot of negative attention was because this was not meant for them at that part of the era. The reason why I say this is because K. Chopin was not afraid to speak the truth, while other women were probably afraid to admit the reason behind it. Now, many readers were probably curious on what the awakening is or who K. Chopin is. But the fact is, it still stays relevant that there is more than one race, which it stands as a groundbreaking novel and a social statement, which was soon revered as a feminism that took hold in Britain and the United States of America years after the death of K. Chopin, resulting in freedom of speech, vote, and the equality of women, which is still a quest that needs to be completed. That being said, thank you.